Good afternoon, fellow delegates. I had to stand back a minute. I like that song. I don't know about you, but having been in sports for a while, it's kind of cool. Groove a little bit here late on a Saturday afternoon. Before I begin, I want to introduce my partner in this long and arduous journey that we've been in education for in excess of 30 years, my wife, Gail. First grade teacher. Gail, stand to be recognized over here. A first grade teacher of extraordinary quality in the Grand Forks Public Schools for an entire career. She's a person for whom I learned a great deal about teaching elementary schools. Every time she asked me to come and visit our classroom, I sweated more than I could ever imagine because there was always someone hugging my knees. It's an amazing world we've lived in throughout our careers teaching school. Before I go any further, I want to make one comment. There's a phrase out there that talks about being on the shoulder of giants. And there will never be again another giant in public education in North Dakota with a face like Wayne Sandsted's. There will never again be an individual who represents public education like Wayne has over all these years. A while back, there was a teacher in the Los Angeles Public Schools named Jaime Escalante. He took a group of low-income kids and made them National Merit Math Scholars. And there was a book written about him. It was called Stand and Deliver. I read that book, and that's been my goal my entire career. My role as a responsibility as a classroom teacher has always been to ensure that every child who walks into my classroom has an opportunity to learn and an adult who guarantees that they will succeed. That is my role, that is my responsibility, and I've done that for all of my adult life. I hope to bring that to the office of the Department of Public Instruction and the Superintendent's office. But I need to warn you, I'm not as orthodox as some might think. I like 3-hour classes. I like individualized instruction. It sounds like a crazy word, but it's something I do. I like the idea of moving kids ahead when they're ready, not necessarily when the calendar says I should. I like what appears to be complex issues and trying to find the moving parts and then deal with them in appropriate pieces. There are new models for education in various places around the world, including Finland. There's a new program called the Khan Academy that everyone is excited about. But they have moving parts, and we must look at those moving parts in their individual sections and see if they apply to North Dakota kids. I would like to propose that the Department of Public Instruction be entirely or as much as possible resource-driven. I would propose that there be a way to deal with serious issues between legislative sessions, because every day that goes by in a child's life where we don't do the right thing is a day we can't get back. In the oil patch, right now today, there is a huge influx of students. I'll give you the example of the Williston Public Schools. 1,200 kids are anticipated to enter the doors of that public school system next fall. The legislative committees and the governor have been informed of the necessary dollars and processes that must be done to open the doors next fall for those kids. We've heard nothing in over a month. It's March. School starts in September. Something has got to happen for those kids. I would propose a disaster response structure within the Department of Public Instruction that can assist schools when needs arise. I would propose that we consider school charters, public school charters, that we can address local needs, geographic needs as they come about. I would propose that we reevaluate all testing in public schools, because you know what? It's time to let teachers teach and not teach the tests. I would propose that every new teacher be involved in a paid fifth-year internship with a significant raise at the end when they do well. I would propose that we increase funding substantially for public education in North Dakota. Someone suggested if we want to make North Dakota right, take our oil money and double down on education. What a concept. We must look at compensation and comprehensive evaluation of educators at the same time, because we have to do something about wages. I would propose that we aggressively address the issue of respect in our schools, because we are dealing with circumstances called bullying every day in every school in America. And by the way, all of those adults who think that kids aren't listening, you need to think again. Because the discourse that we hear today on television and other places is not helping. I am prepared to engage with the federal government in issues of No Child Left Behind and special education. The recent increase in the number of children with disabilities, especially autism, requires a different kind of response, and the federal government either has to play a role in that or get out of the way, because we're going to do what we need to do for our kids. I entered this race to have an opportunity to govern. I am an educator. I want to discuss the issues. I want to bring to the headlines some things we haven't talked about for a long time. Let me repeat, I am an educator. I am a communicator, and most importantly, I am an advocate. I would appreciate your support today, on June 12th, and in November. Thank you for your support today and in the future.
Thank you, Max. I have one announcement. The silent auction is closed. Please stop by and pick up any items you may have won or think you have won. The chair will now recognize Senator Tim Mathern for a report of the Standing Committee on Presidential Electors.
Mr. Chairman, as chairman of your Presidential Electors Committee, I move that Jean Guy, Grace Lake, and Jane Sinner, former First Ladies of North Dakota, serve as the Democratic NPL electors for the office of the President of the United States.